So, welcome everyone to the second chapter of financial management, where we are discussing concept of value and return. So, while discussing the concepts of finance, probably the mathematical concepts of finance, we need to be good with mathematics here to understand, and the generic formula what we follow, that future value is equal to present value into 1 plus a rate of interest to the power time. This is the basic formula we follow. This formula basically derived from the compound interest formula, that amount is equal to principal 1 plus rate of interest to the power 10. Okay, so you should know this concept. You should understand the concept of time value of money, that because we live in the world of inflation or deflation, the value of money decreases with time if you're living in the inflationary world, and the value of money increases with time if you live in deflationary world. So in that world, the value of money never remain the same. So probably you should always talking about the economic value of money, should always think in the economic perspective, that what can be the real value of the money. Because once you start doing the adjustment of inflation, I discussed the formula, that the return what you get from any product is called nominal rate of return. So 1 plus nominal rate of return percentage, that is equal to 1 plus real rate of return, 1 plus real rate of return, okay, into 1 plus cost of inflation into 1 plus inflation rate. So we do this, and while doing these adjustments, ultimately when we talk about investment, the investment will only make sense if we are getting a positive real rate of return. So the return what we get from any product because of investment is called nominal rate of return. And once you subtract the inflation from that nominal rate of return, the real value what we get, that we call is real rate of return, and that should be positive whenever we make investment. Then only the time value of money logic looks good in the calculation of concept of value and return. So we have discussed about the concept of compound interest. We have discussed how we can talk about finding the future value of money, how we can find the present value of money. So while talking about future value of money and present value of money, then going further, we can also talk about how we can look into the scenario. Basically, the concept of compound interest, which has given us this formula, basically that compound interest concept is actually derived from simple interest. So when we talk about simple interest, so when we talk about simple interest basically work from a formula called amount is equal to simple interest, basically work on a formula called amount is equal to principal into 1 plus r into t by 100. It basically works with this formula, that amount is equal to principal into 1 plus r into t by 100. So where in the case of simple interest, when we calculate the interest, it follows a formula called it is equal to p into r into t by 100. Okay, so this is a formula from which the concept of simple interest is derived. We simply calculate the interest. So the interest is the value what we get on money, because we know that the value of money never remain the same. So the value what we get whenever we talk about investment, that is the interest part. So in the case of simple interest, the interest what we receive is constant. So the amount at the end of the day what we receive is the constant. But in the real sense, we know that the value of money never remain the same. So simple interest does not work in the real market. That's why we follow compound interest, and this is the formula what we get from the compound interest. So whenever you talk about any lump sum investment, like you do investment in FD or anywhere, so or if someone has given you lump sum money after some year, so what is the present value of that money? Anything, you can directly use this formula. You can directly use this formula. So this formula will give you the better picture about how to determine the future value of money and how to determine the present value of money. So we have seen this question, like we did discuss about this question number one, where we talked about how I can determine the present value of rupees 600, which I receive after 1 year. So the present value of 600, which I receive after 1 year, if the discounting rate is 5%, or if I receive after 5 year, or I receive after 15 year, what is the present value of money? I know, I can easily find. So by simply using this formula, that the present value of money is equal to future value divided by 1 plus rate of interest to the power time. Okay, so we have done this. Okay, so the scenario, it can be like this, that it can be lump sum, or the scenario, it can be like this, where you, instead of receiving lump sum, you may receive every year, or you have to pay every year, or you have to pay after every 2 years. I hope you're understanding. In the real scenario, in the real life scenario, when you plan for investment, or whenever you are receiving some money from investment, it can be periodic in nature, or it can be non-periodic in nature. Like, it can be where you are receiving an exact amount of money after every exact period of time. It can be you are receiving exact amount of money at every unequal period of time. It can be the scenario where you are receiving variable amount of money at equal interval of time. So scenario can be much more complicated. The scenario cannot be so simple. Okay, so here, like, you can see this question number third, that assuming a 10% discount rate, compute the present value of 1100, 900, 1500, and 700 receive from 1 to 4 years. Okay, so receive from 1 to 4 years. So the discount rate is 10%. Discount rate is 10%, and the money is 1100, 900, 1500, 700. So here I'll just open Excel. So your discounting rate is 10%. One, your discounting rate is 10%. Year is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then future value, then it is 1100. Then 1100, then 900, then 1500, and then 700. So this is your future value of money, and your discounting rate is 10%, right? Your discounting rate is 10%. So copy this. So if you want to find the present value, if you want to find the present value, so what you can do, individually you can do this calculation. So you take this future value and divide by 1 plus a rate of interest, okay, to the power time. After 1 year, you're getting this money. So like this, you can find the present value of all the money, and then you can find the sum total of the present value. This is the So this is the sum total. This is the sum total of all the money what you are receiving. So this calculation you get because the 1100 rupees you discounted at 10% for 1 year. So just give you 1000 rupees. Then second one you did calculation that 900 rupees you discounted at 1 plus 10% for 2 year. So you'll get 743.80165. And third one, you did 1500, you discounted at 1 plus 10% for 2 years. So you'll get is 1126.9722. And the fourth one, you had 700 rupees which you discounted 10% for 4 years. Then you get 478.109. And you did the total sum, you'll get 93348. Clear, everyone? So you'll get this value. Understanding, right? You know the formula that the present value of money is equal to future value of money 1 plus rate of interest to the power. You can use that formula. From that formula, I found the present value of money after every regular interval of the time. And so that, so whatever the future value was there, I discounted at rate of interest from this, and I get the present value. If you do the total sum of this, you will get the same value. Anyone, any doubt?
So you would have the question in this same format?
I have this.
Okay, so you have 10% discount rate.
Discounting rate was 10%, and you suppose you did some investment, okay, and you did some investment, or you get retired, or some insurance company committed you that you, because if you pay us this much money for this many year, after that we'll give you this much after every regular interval of time. So somebody is giving you 1100, 900, 1500, 700 rupees, okay, for next 4 years. So what is the sum of present value of that money? So the after 1 year, if somebody give you 1100, the value of that 1100 present value cannot be 1100, because that you are receiving after 1 year. So the present value of that cannot be 1100 if you are living in the world where the inflation rate is 10%. Suppose. So the present value of that 1100 is actually 1000 rupees, 1000.
All right. Okay.
So this is what we can do. We can even use a discount table. 1 minute. So last class I think I've sent in the group or not. So you can search for the financial table. In exam when you will go, please take financial table. So please take a Xerox of this financial table. Financial table. This so financial table. So here your rate of interest was 10% and for 5 years. So this is future value table. You need present value table. This is future value table. This is present value table of single flow. So 10%, you can see 10% for 1 year, that is 0.9091. 10% for 1 year, that is 0.9091. This is 0.9091. Then this is 0.8264. This is 0.8264. Then this is 0.7513. 0.7513. Then this is 0.683. 0.683. So you this whatever the future value you receive. So this was your future value. Whatever you're receiving, this is the present value factor. This is the present value factor. Whatever the future value you receive, you simply multiply with the present value factor. You simply multiply. You don't have to do any rigorous calculation. And then simply do the sum of this. You'll get the value.
Okay. What's the P?
Sorry, what is PV? PV means present value.
No, not PV. P. If we buy a P plus R%. R% is the rate percentage.
Rate of
Time is the
interest.
year.
Yeah, 1 plus. It's not P.
What's that?
This is 1.
Okay, 1 plus R.
Yeah. This is 1000, 1100 divided by 1 plus 10% to the power 1. This is 1100 divided by 1 plus 10%. 10% is 0.1 to the power 1. This is 1100 divided by 1.1 to the power 1. This is 1100 by 1.1. Means this is 1000.
All right. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
So this laptop battery is getting problem. Yeah, not charging. Yeah, correct. So this is clear, right? So like this way you can do, you can find the present value of money and you can do this. Okay. So this way you can find the present value of money. Anyone, any doubt? So here only what I did, here only last class, we discussed when we did this problem too. So here we talked about a scenario of finding the present value in case the value what you're receiving is same only. Are you getting me? If you see this question number second, you are not receiving different amount of money. If you see here, your future value is different. Some year it's 1100, some year it's 900, then 1500. It can be different. It can be same, like 700 for next 6 years. So here directly you can use the concept of NUT. Here directly you can use the concept of NUT. What is NUT? NUT basically means that when I receive or when I pay a same amount of money after every regular interval of time, that we call as NUT. So when we receive or when we pay a same amount of money after every regular interval of time, that we called as NUT. So
So a year, sorry for bothering and
question number
interrupting.
second, yeah.
Yeah.
So this, so either what you can do, so either you can like suppose if I give you 6 years like this, suppose imagine I'm telling you, suppose if I give you year and then if I give you 6 years, so I give you 6 years, but every year you will get 700 rupees. Every year for the next 6 years, you will get 700 rupees. You will get 700 rupees, for example. So every year you will get 700 rupees, for example. Suppose for next 6 years, every year suppose you will get 700 rupees, for example. Now now what you need to understand here, if 700 remain the same value, if 700 does not change, if this is 700 only, so either manually you can do it, like either rate of interest is 8%. So either if your rate of interest is 8%, so if your rate of interest is 8%, so what you can do, you can find the present value factor. You can find present value factor for 8% for the next 6 years. So this is 0.9259, 0.9259, then 8%, no, 0.8573, 0.8573, then 0.7938, 0.7938, then 0.735, 0.735, then 8%, 0.6806, 0.6806, then 0.6302, 0.6302. So now this is 8% for the next 6 years. So the next percent for this is 8% for next 6 years. Okay, this is the present value factor. Okay, now if I want to determine the present value, I can simply multiply this 700 with the present value factor, multiply it, and then if I simply multiply it, if I do the sum of this, I'll get the total sum. This is the one way of doing. So 700 rupees here will be called as NUT. 700 rupees will be called here is NUT. NUT means when you pay or when you receive a same amount of money after every regular interval of time, we'll call that as NUT. So here 700 rupees, if you see the example of 700 rupees, so every year you are receiving 700 rupees for next 6 years. So this NUT means when you receive or when you pay a same amount of money after every regular interval of time, we'll call that as NUT. So 700 is like a NUT here. Okay, at 8% if we do, so we'll find the present value. We'll find their present value. We'll find their present value. We'll find their present value. So this is the case of NUT here. So this is the sum of present value of annuity. This is the sum of the money what you receive for the 6 years. 700 rupees for 6 years. That is not for 4,200. If you compute the present value into consideration, it will become 3,235.96 rupees. So either manually you can do one by one like this, or if you see the scenario, if mathematically if I do this, if mathematically you do this, like this is a year, and then this is year one, two, then three, four, five, six, something like this. Suppose 700 rupees I'm writing as A. So 700 rupees I'm writing as A, and the rate of interest here is, and the rate of interest here is, and the rate of interest here is R%. R% is the rate of interest. R% is the rate of interest. So the present value of the money, so A divided by 1 plus R% to the power 1. This is this. Then this is A divided by 1 plus R% to the power 2. Then this is A divided by 1 plus R% to the power 3. This will be A divided by 1 plus R% to the power 4. Are you getting this? This is A divided by 1 plus R% to the power 5. This is A divided by 1 plus R% to the power 6. So now once you get this value, so either manually you can add them, either manually you can add them, or last class I have taught you this, guys. Either manually you can add them, or last class I have taught you. So the present value of your future cash flow, I have taught you this present value of the future cash flow in case if they are in annuity form. In case what is happening? In case if they are, in case if they are in annuity form, in case if they are in annuity form, in case if they are in annuity form, then it is equal to, then it is equal to A divided by, in case A divided by 1 plus R% to the power 1 plus A divided by 1 plus R% to the power 2 plus A divided by 1 plus R% to the power 3 plus A divided by 1 plus R% to the power 4 plus A divided by 1 plus R% to the power 5 plus A divided by 1 plus R% to the power 6. So if you notice, if you have understanding of mathematics, if you notice, these value are in the form of NUT. This value are in the form of NUT. So this value are in form of NUT. These values are in form of NUT, where the rate of interest, is 1 plus R%, and the time is 6 years, and the time is 6 years, and the time is 6 years. So and the first value, so this is the first value. The first value is A divided by 1 plus R%. So if you do the sum of present value of annuity, so the sum of annuity, if you do here, if you do the sum of present value of annuity here, you do the sum of present value of annuity here. So the formula of annuity is first value into 1 minus r to the power n divided by 1 minus r. This is the formula. So if you apply this formula, the sum of present value of annuity, if your rate of interest is less than 1, then this is the formula. If you apply this formula, A divided by 1 plus R% into 1 minus R is 1 plus R% to the power n divided by 1 minus 1 plus R%. So so the sum formula is A divided by 1 plus R. So A A divided by 1 plus r percent. This is 1 plus r percent to the power n minus 1 divided by 1 plus r percent to the power n divided by 1 plus r percent minus 1 divided by 1 plus r percent. So, this and this get cancelled. This and this get cancelled. So ultimately, this formula will become a divided by r percent into 1 plus r percent to the power n minus 1 into 1 plus r percent to the power n. So this will become the formula. This will become the formula. This is the sum of present value of annuity. Imagine if n years are there. So in case for our problem, the n is 6, a annuity is 700, r is 8%, and the n is 6. So 1 plus 8% to the power 6 minus 1 divided by 1 plus 8% to the power 6. The sum is equal to 700 by 8%. This is 1.08 to the power 6 minus 1 divided by 1.08 to the power 6. So I just need to solve this. So I can use calculator. 700 by 8%. I can use calculator. I can find 700 by 8%. 700 by 8%. So this is 8750. This is 8750. Then 1.08 to the power 6, 1.08 to the power 6. This is 1.586874, 1.586874 minus 1 divided by 1.586874. You just solve it. So if you solve this 8750 into 8750 into 0.586874 divided by 1.586874. So this is equal to this into this minus 1 divided by this. So this is 3236.016. This is 3236.016. This is the present value. The present value. So this either you can use this formula. So this is the formula which I'm trying to teach you. So in case whenever you're getting some kind of scenario where there's a possibility of annuity, you can directly apply the present value of annuity formula, guys. The present value of annuity formula, that is a divided by r percent into 1 plus r percent to the power t, 1 plus r percent to the power t minus 1 divided by 1 plus r percent to the power t. This is the present value of annuity formula. You can apply that and you'll get the answer for that. So either you can use this, or for this also there's a table. There's a present value of annuity table. Present value of annuity rupees 1 at 8% for 6 years. So that also there's a table is there. That also you don't have to do that. 8% for 6 years. So you see the 8% for 6 years. 8% for 6 years. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8% for 6 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 4.6229, 4.6229, 4.6229, 4.6229. So the sum value will be 4.6229, and your annuity is here 700. If you multiply them, how much you'll get? So 700 into 4.6229. You do that, you'll get the same thing. Are you getting this, guys?
Well, I just had a doubt in this question. Um, when compared to the previous question, I guess there is the same meaning, right? In
In
question
the
number.
previous question, the amount was not same. The money what you're receiving was not same. You are getting different money. And here the money what you're receiving is same. So if you are receiving the same money, so you can either do manually and you can do the sum. Either you can do manually and you can do the sum. Or you can directly, if whenever this is same, this is called as NUT. Means you are receiving or you are paying the same amount of money after every regular interval of time. This is called NUT, and there you can apply the present value of NUT and you can get the direct answer. You don't have to do manually the same thing again and again.
Okay, so if the future value is the same, then we use the formula for annuity.
Yeah, NUT means it can be present value of NUT, it can be the future value of NUT. So the formula, so just now shown you the derivation of present value of NUT. So the present value of NUT, uh, the formula is A divided by R percent into 1 plus R percent to the power T minus 1 divided by 1 plus R percent to the power T. Okay, so you can use this formula, or you can use this is the future value of NUT, or you can use this was present value of NUT. Whenever there's a scenario of future value of NUT, then you can use this formula. Then you can use this formula of future value of NUT.
All right.
So this is future value of NUT. Imagine if you receive, if I'm going to deposit 700 rupees every year to a mutual fund for next 6 years. So how much the money will become? So there you can use future value of annuity. 700 rupees if I deposit, if the mutual fund is giving me 8%, so the future value of annuity will be this much. 700 rupees will be this much. So whenever you deposit money, you want to know the future value. Means if you keep on depositing, how much it will become. Or if you are talking about the scenario of present value, if you're talking about the scenario of present value means when you're receiving. So whenever you receive, what is the present value of what all you can receive? Whenever you're paying, you want to determine what would be the future value of whatever you are depositing.
Okay.
Got it? So future value of annuity will determine whenever we are depositing some money and we want to know how much it will become. So the same logic of derivation GP we follow. So if every year, if I'm depositing AA rupees, if every year, if I'm depositing AA rupees, or every year if I'm depositing AA rupees, okay, and the rate of interest is suppose R%, the rate of interest is R%. Okay, so the future value of that money will be how much? So that will be A. I've deposited after first year 1 plus R%, and this will grow for how many years? It will grow for n minus 1 year, because that it will mature after a year. The second year, if I deposited A rupees, it will grow for how many years? It will grow for n minus 2 years. The third, it will grow for 1 and to the power n minus 3 years. The money which I deposited after n year, so like maybe n minus 1 year, it will grow for how many years? 1 year. then the money which I deposit after any year, it will grow for only A rupees, not grow at all. So the what is the sum of future value of money, whatever you deposited, that would be A into 1 plus R percent into A into 1 plus R percent square, like this. So this will grow till A into 1 plus R percent to the power n minus 1. This is your future value of your investment. In this case, what is your first value? First value is A. Okay, and what is your n in time period? If you count, you have n period. And what is the ratio at which the money is growing? That is 1 plus R percent. And then if you apply the sum of n terms in GP, so the formula of sum of n terms in GP is first value into a ratio to the power n minus 1 by ratio minus 1. That is the formula. So if you use that formula, so you'll get is called future value of annuity. Future value of annuity formula is A, first value is A, ratio is 1 plus R percent, 1 plus R percent to the power n minus 1 by R is 1 plus 1 R percent minus 1. So the future value of annuity is A divided by R percent into 1 plus R percent to the power n. So this is the formula. So this is the future value of annuity formula. So you should know this formula. So there's a formula of future value of annuity. So there's a formula of future value of annuity A divided by R percent into 1 plus R percent to the power T minus 1. Then you have present value of annuity, formula, present value of annuity formula, that is A divided by R percent into 1 plus R percent to the power T minus 1 divided by 1 plus R percent to the power T. You should know this formula of future value of annuity, the formula of present value of annuity, all this you should know. This is important. What is annuity? Annuity basically means when you pay or when you receive the same amount of money after every regular interval of time. So we'll call that as an annuity. Is this clear, everyone? Any doubt? Vanishri, Yashishwini, any doubt?
No, sir.
So normally, whenever we talk about annuity and all, so normally, like suppose this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, suppose. So normally when we say, so here this means end. This means end. Like I hope you are getting. Whenever you pay anything, suppose you're paying rent or anything. So or you like suppose I just now shifted to new house. So my owner will tell me two things, either of two things, that either you will tell me that you do one thing, pay rent at the beginning of every month. Okay. Or you at the end of the every month. You'll say so both mean same thing, no sir. This month end is the next month beginning. Yeah, that is both the same thing. But for the first month, it will create a difference. Are you getting me? So like here, two options I have. Either I can pay you if I have to pay you rent. Either I can pay A here, A here, A here, and A here. Okay. So then how much I paid you? How much I paid you? So at the end of 4 years, this means end. Okay. So how much I paid you? This will not grow at all. So this will remain A. This is A, and it will grow for 1 year. No? It will grow for 1 year. So 1 plus R percent. This will grow for how many? This will grow for 2 years. This will grow for how many? This will grow for 3 years. You're getting it right. So whenever we have annuity means when you pay or when you receive at the end of the period. That is called annuity. I hope everyone understood this. This is called NUT. Okay, this is called NUT. When you pay or when you receive at the end of the period, this is called NUT, future value of NUT. Okay, in here what you can do, this is called NUT. This can be other way also. I could have said, I would have said, do one thing, do payment at the beginning. So beginning means this is the beginning. Are you getting it? This is the beginning of first month, beginning of second month, beginning of third month, beginning of fourth month. So then what would be the future value here? What would be the future value here in this case? So what would the future value here in this case? This is called annuity due. This is when you pay or when you receive at the beginning of every period, that we call it annuity due. This would be A1 plus R%. It will grow for 1 year. This will grow for 2 years. A into 1 plus R% square. This will grow for 3 years. A into 1 plus R% cube. And this will grow for 4 years. A into 1 plus R% to the power 4. So this is the annuity due, and this is the annuity. So this is future value of annuity. This is future value of annuity due. So what difference it create, guys? If you observe very clearly, always remember future value of annuity due is equal to future value of annuity. This is equal to future value of annuity is equal to future value of annuity into 1 plus R percentage. This is equal to present value of annuity due is equal to present value of annuity due is equal to present value of annuity into 1 plus R percentage. Are you getting it? So due means whenever you pay or you receive at the beginning of every period, that we call as due. While if you pay or if you receive at the end of every period, then it is called as annuity. That there's another word for annuity that's called immediate annuity. Many books, instead of using the word annuity, they use the term called immediate annuity. Clear, everyone?
Yeah.
So in MS Excel also, if you do this, so if it annuity, if I have to find the present value, I could have done directly PV equal to rate. Rate is 8%. This problem, NPR is from 6 year, right? NPR is 6 year, comma PMT means annuity. So here annuity is 700 rupees, comma future value is 0. Type 0 in case of annuity and 1 in case of annuity due. So this is annuity. You will get the same thing. So this is the present value of annuity. So this is present value of annuity. Now, in case if this would have been annuity due, same problem. If I would be paying at the beginning of every year, imagine, just telling you. So then same thing, you use the PV formula. Rate is 8%, comma, and rate is 8%, comma, NPR is 6, comma, PMT is 700, FB 0, type 1. If you see the difference, this into 1 plus 8% is present value of annuity into 1 plus 8%. It will give you present value of annuity due. You're getting, so just remember this formula. So future value of annuity due, present value of annuity due, formulas and all, if you know, it will be really good for you. So annuity due means when you pay or when you receive at the beginning of the period, then it is annuity due. If you pay or if you receive at the end of the period, it is annuity. Clear, everyone? Any doubt, anyone? Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
See this question number fourth one. So exactly 10 years from now, Mr. Sri Chand will start receiving a pension of 3,000 a year. The payment will continue for 6 years. How much is the pension worth now? Its interest rate is 10%. Try this question. Try this question number 4, everyone. So let's try solving this problem. Exactly 10 years from now, Srichan will start receiving a pension of 3,000 rupees per year, and it will continue for next 16 years. So for next 16 years, for like after 10 years means after 10 years. So after 10 years, okay, pension of pension of after 10 years, pension of after 10 years, a pension of 3,000 rupees per year. After 10 years, a pension of 3,000 per year. After 10 years, a pension of 3,000 rupees per year will continue for 16 years. Will continue for 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 next 16 years. Next 16 years. After 10 years from now, a pension of 3,000 rupees per year will continue for 16 years. So, so please understand what I need to do here to find the present value of money. What I need to do here, the present value of my receivable, whatever I'm going to receive, I need to find first the present value of 3,000 rupees per year. Okay, for the next 16 years, like the rate of interest is how much? It's 10%. So 3,000 divided by 10%. 1 plus 10% for 16 years, minus 1 divided by 1 plus 10% for the 16 year. Okay. So 3,000 for next 16 year rate of interest is 10%. So this I have to find. Okay, I have to find the present value of this money. So but this money, this is the present value of receivable after 10 years. This because it's starting after 10 years. So if I have to find the present value of receivable, if I have to find what is the present value of the receivable, so the present value of the receivable, whatever value I'm getting this value, I need to multiply, I need to divide it again, I need to discount it after 10 years. So what if this is suppose A? So this A I need to discount 10% after 10 years. Getting because that money I'm getting after 10 years. Are you getting this, everyone? because this receivable I'm getting after 10 years. So that is the sum of present value of all the money which we will receive for next 16 years. So 10% for 16 years, you can see if there is there. So present value of annuity factor 10% for 16 years. 10% for 16 years is there. So let me just search here. If I keep going down, 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 down. I think this is 7.8237. 7.8237. 7.8237. 7.8237. 7.8237. 7.8237. That is present value of factor of annuity. 7.8237 into 3000. So that is the present value of 3000 rupees. Okay, that is the present value of rupee 1 at 10% for 16 years. So if I multiply this with 3000, 7.8237, 7.8237, 7.8237, so 7.8237 into 3000 if I do. So this, if I do this, 7.8237 into 3000 if I do, this is 23,471.1. 23,471.1. This I need to find the present value. 1 plus 10% for 10 years. So present value of this I need to find. For that, what I can do, if I want to use table, if I have to use table, I have to use the table of present value of interest factor of single cash flow. 10%, 10% for 10 years, 10% for 10 years, 10% for 10 years, 10% for 10 years. So 10% for 10 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 0.3855. 0.3855 into 23,471.1. 0.3855. 0.3855. 9048.109. 90. So this is 9048.109. Clear everyone? Are you getting it right? So exactly after 10 years, so exactly after 10 years, 0 year, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, exactly after 10 years, then exactly after 10 years, exactly after 10 years, Mr. Mr. Exactly after 10 years, pension of 3,000 rupees. Pension of 3,000 rupees. After 10 years, 3,000 rupees. That will continue. How many years? 16 years. No? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah. So 16 years it will continue like this. So find the present value of this. So I found the present value of this. So are you getting it right? For 16 years, this is gonna continue. This 1, 2 will continue for 16 years from 10th year to 25th year. So your future value was 3,000 rupees. Future value was 3,000 rupees. Your rate of interest was 10%. Your rate of interest was 10%. Rate of interest was 10%. So you find this. So this what you will find. That is the present value of all the money which you receive, which you are going to receive from 10th year to 25th year. Okay, that value what you will get, that is around how much? 23,471. So that this is 23,471. This 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 you receive at the end of 10th year. Now what you need to know, I need to know the present value of that money. So what is the present value of this money? Clear everyone?
Yeah.
Any doubt? Here you can use, if you want to do in Excel, everything you can do in Excel very easily. You can like present value of rupees 3,000 which Mr. Srichand will receive from 10th year to 25th year. The sum total that you just apply the PV formula. The rate is 10%. NPR means time period. That is 16 year. PMT put minus sign, 3,000 rupees you are paying. You are receiving. Future value 0, type 0, NUT. This you will get. This is 23,000 rupees. But this money you receive at the end of 10th year, because you're receiving from 10th year to that. No. So if you want to know the present value of that money, so the present value of 23,471.13. Okay. So present value of this money. So so so, so the better English word, present value of after 10th year. This after 10th year. After 10th year. Yes. Present value rupees 2,600. This is the money. This is the present value after 10th year. What is the present value of that money? If you use PV formula, the rate is 10%. NPR is 10 year. PMT here is 0. There's no PMT. There's no NUT. Okay. Then future value is this. This is your future value, comma, type is 0. So this money what you receive, 23,471.13, that 1 plus 10% lump sum to the power 1. This is present value of NUT. This is 3,000 divided by 10% into 1 plus 10% to the power 16 minus 1 divided by 1 plus 10% to the power 16. Understood everyone? See this question. Question is little big. Read this question. Fifth, the first part. So suppose if you read this problem that your father promised to give you 1 lakh rupees in cash on 25th birthday. Today is your 16th birthday. You want to know two things, like if you decide to make an annual payment into a fund after 1 year, so how much he have to be every time, how much should be every time annuity payment if the fund pays 8% per annum. So how will we do this problem? So if you see this, question, so like year, for how many year? 9 year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 year. 9 year is the year. Future value, not future value, present value. You're depositing. So if you're depositing, you want the future value You're depositing every year. His father is depositing every year A rupees. Okay, his father from 17th birthday to 25th birthday, A rupees is depositing. The rate of interest, the mutual fund where he's investing, that is giving him 8%. That is giving him 8%. That is giving him 8%. Okay, and then if you want to know the future value, what is the future value? That is A into 1 plus 8%, and this will grow for how many years? 8 years. After 1 year deposited, it will grow for 8 years. This will be plus 8%, and it will grow for 7 years. This will be 1 plus 8%. It will grow for 6 years. So like this, you have to do. 1 minute, 1 minute. Depositing. So A rupees you're depositing from 17th to 25th. Okay, and then you want that money to become a 1 lakh rupees, or how much? 1 lakh rupees, right? Yeah. So this is the case of sinking fund, guys. This is the case of, in accounts we call this a sinking fund. And if you understand, sinking fund is nothing but it is an application of future value of annuity. It is an application of future value of annuity, where that is equal to A% by R% into 1 plus R% to the power T minus 1. Then sinking fund 1 lakh. 1 lakh is equal to A divided by R%. R% is 8%. 1 plus 8% to the power T. T is like 9 year minus 1. So this is 1 lakh into 8% is equal to A 1.08 to the power 9 minus 1. This is 1 lakh into 8%. 1 lakh into 8%, that will be 50, no? 8,000 is equal to A into 1.08 to the power 9. 1.08 to the power 9. That is 1.9999 minus 1 if I do. Minus 1. Point triple nine double zero four six. Point triple nine double zero 46. So the value of A is equal to 8,000 divided by point triple nine double zero 46. So 8,000, that value, 8,000 by that value, 8,007. So 8,007. So 8,007.9709, something like that. So 808 you can say. So 8,008 rupees. If 8,008 rupees, if his father deposit every year into the mutual fund for next 9 years, every year only 8,000 rupees if you deposit for the next 9 years, it will become 1 lakh rupees after 9 years. Clear, everyone?
Yeah.
So suppose the next case is that the next question is this, that if you decide to invest a lump sum means one time payment. You are not doing periodic payment. Suppose if you do one time payment, and he want that one time only make it 1 lakh. So one time payment you will do. Okay, so if you decide to invest a lump sum in the account after 1 year and let it compounded annually, so how much that lump sum will be? So if you do lump sum investment, lump sum means like he invest one amount, whatever amount he invest, he want that rate of interest 8%, like mutual fund only. Maybe he one time he'll say, I'm not gonna, whenever you do investment in mutual fund, you can either do lump sum or SIP and all. So instead of SIP, suppose he went for lump sum, one time he's gonna put some A rupees which should grow at 8%, and now it's 16th birthday, so you do after you doing after 1 year, so it will grow for 9 years, and then that we want to become 1 lakh. So what is the value that lump sum? That would be 1 lakh divided by 1 plus 8% to the power 9 years. This is 1 lakh. This you can find 1 plus 8% to the power 9. So see, two things are there. So this you find this value. So if you want, you can find the present value. Present value of rupee 1 for 8% for 9 years. Or what you can do, you can also find 1 lakh divide by future value. Are you getting it? Future value of rupee 1 for 8% for 9 years. So you do anyway. I hope you people are getting it. So you do anyway. They both mean same thing. I'm just showing you just for your practice purpose. Present value of rupee one for 8% at 9 years. 8% for 9 years. That is 0.5002. 0.5002. So this is present value. Now, if you see the future value table, 8% for 9 years. 8% for 9 years. 8% for 9 years. 1.999. 1.999. So you do anything, I think you will get the same answer. You can check with calculator. Is this clear, everyone?
Yeah.
So you do anyway, you will get the same thing. So 1 lakh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 lakh into 1 lakh into 1 lakh into 0.5002. 0.5002. This you will get, or 1 lakh divide by 1.999. Little bit difference here. So 50,020 something is the amount. 2025, whatever. Clear, everyone? Clear, everyone? Now the third part of the question, if the payment are made at the beginning of the year, then how much it would be? Present payment are made beginning of the year means present future value of annuity due. If the end of the year, it's annuity. If it is beginning of the year, it is future value of annuity due is equal to rupees 1 lakh. And if you do at the beginning of the year, so A divided by R percent into 1 plus R percent to the power T minus 1 into 1 plus R percent, that is equal to 1 lakh. Is equal to 1 lakh. Do this question by yourself. So that the part A, what we did, that this person, whatever Mr. So my father, he's going to invest every year A rupees. That was the end of the year, and it will grow for 9 years. Now, if you do at the beginning of the year, if in A, the part A, if is done at the beginning, do this. So if you do this, you just solve it, it will get the same. Can you find this? So just how much it will, so 8%, 1 plus 8% to the power 9 here, right? Into 1 plus 8%. How much should he deposit at the beginning of the year? How much should he deposit at the beginning of the year so that it become 1 lakh rupees at the end on the 25th birthday? Solve this. 1.08 to the power 9 is how much? If you want to check, 1.999 something we got. 1.08 to the power 9. 8% for 9 years. One point triple nine. 1.999 minus 1. 1 plus 8%. 1 lakh into 0.08. You can solve this. A into triple nine. 1 into 1.08. That is 8,000. No? So you find this value. 8,000 divided by 1.08 into triple nine. So this is 8,000 divided by 1.08. 8,000 divided by 1.08 into 0.999. 7414.822. That is 7414.822.
So we round this off to 7415.
Correct. So if you deposit 7414 at the beginning of every year for the next 9 years, that will become 1 lakh rupees after 9 years. So otherwise, you don't have to do that also for this problem. You already know, right? You already knew that future value of annuity, right? So in this case, already we knew the future value of annuity. So the future value of annuity was where the calculation I did. Already we did that, no? First part A, that we knew that, okay, no, leave that part. So yeah, this will make sense. So this 7414.822 probably for next 9 years if it done investment, so that will become 1 lakh rupees. So you, whenever you deposit, you find the future value. Whenever you receive, you find the present value. Clear, everyone?
All right.
Do this question. Question number 6. So till now, while discussing this future value of money, I told you the formula called future value of money is equal to present value of money into 1 plus rate of interest to the power time. This is the formula which I told you. Now, in this formula, we assume that the rate of interest in this formula, we believe that the rate of interest compounded annually. We believe that the rate of interest, we believe that the rate of interest is compounded. Rate of interest, it is compounded annually. we believe on that concept that the rate of interest is compounded annually. Okay, so like it depends whenever you do investment, some product gives you interest annually, some product give you interest half yearly, some product give you interest quarterly. So it depends from problem to problem. If you invest in government bonds, so they will give you interest half yearly. After every 6 months, you will get the interest. If you invest in government bonds, somewhere you do investment, you may get interest quarterly, somewhere monthly. If you deposit your money in the bank, bank gives you interest every day. So actually, the better way to represent this formula would be future value of money is equal to present value of money into 1 plus rate of interest divide by m to the power m into t, where what is m? M is called adjustment factor, where m is called adjustment factor. So what is this adjustment factor, sir? So what is the adjustment factor? If understand that if rate of interest, imagine that if rate of interest is compounded, imagine that if rate of interest is compounded annually, imagine that if rate of interest is compounded annually, then your m is equal to 1. If your rate of interest is compounded half yearly, if your rate of interest is compounded half yearly, then your m is 2. If your rate of interest is compounded quarterly, your m is 4. If your rate of interest is compounded monthly, then your m is 12. If your rate of interest is compounded per day wise, then your m is 365. Okay, so you can understand this formula, guys. So actually what happened, no, if imagine if the rate of interest is compounded quarterly, as per what is given in this question number 6, that 12% is the rate of interest and it is compounded quarterly. So means you are getting the interest after every three months, they're giving you the interest. So the interest what they'll give you at the end of 3 months, it won't be the interest at the end of 6 months because of time value of money. So you have to understand that, that if the rate of interest, if the rate of 1 minute. So now this is the scenario. So because in this problem, if you see in this problem, the interest is compounded quarterly. So rate of interest is 12% and it's compounded quarterly. Then in this formula, so if rate of interest is compounded quarterly, 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 then future value of money is present value into 1 plus rate of interest divided by 4 to the power 4 into t. So future value of money is equal to this is 1,000 rupees into 1 plus rate of interest, that is 12%, divide by 4 to the power 4 into t. T is only 5 year. So this you have to understand why we are doing this calculation. You need to understand why we are doing this calculation. Future value is equal to 1,000 into 1 plus 3% to the power 20. So this is future value is 1,000 into, find the 3% for 20 future value, multiply that with 1,000. But before you do that calculation, I want you to understand this, guys, that a rate of interest is compounded quarterly. So 12% is the rate of interest. Okay, 12% is the rate of interest. This 12% uh, is rate of interest for 1 year. Okay, always whenever the interest rate is mentioned in the problem, it is mentioned always annually. Okay, whenever the interest rate is mentioned in the problem, it is mentioned always annually. Okay, that is given 12%. So 12% annually. And if your rate of interest compounded quarterly, means after every three months, if they calculate interest, so means after three months, if they calculate interest, means every time they'll calculate interest that is equal to How much? 3%, 3% interest every quarterly. And 1 year they'll calculate interest 4 times because 1 year have 4 quarters. So in 5 years they'll calculate your interest how many times? 20 times. That is what I have done. So 3% for 20 year. You just find this value 3% for 20 year, 3% for 20 year. The first 1%, 2%, 3%. 3% for 20 year. That would be 1.8061. 1.8061. That would be 1.8061. So this would be 1806.1. This is the one. Or if you can use calculator. If scientific calculator is allowed, you can use most welcome to do that. So 1 plus 8%, 1 plus, so 1000 into 1 plus 3% for 20 years. 1806.11.
All right.
Yeah. So you need to understand, guys, here you need to understand that I told you the formula that if the rate of interest is compounded annually, if you understand that if rate of interest is compounded annually, if rate of interest is compounded annually, then your formula is future value is equal to present value into 1 plus rate of interest to the power time. If it is half yearly, then your future value is equal to present value into 1 plus rate of interest divided by 2 to the power 2t, 2 into time. If it quarterly, so then divide by 4 to the power 4t, monthly divide by 12 to the power 12t. So if in a bank, if you go and deposit money, so it is like per day. So if it like per day, then your future value is equal to present value into 1 plus rate of interest divided by 365 to the power 365t. Similarly, if the rate of interest is compounded per second, rate of interest is compounded per second. If rate of interest is compounded per second, then future value is equal to present value into 1 plus rate of interest divided by 365. 1 year have 365 days into 24. One day have 24 hours into 3600. 1 day have 3600 seconds to the power 365 into 24 into 3600. If you use this formula, it will make sense. But the question arises, why we need to do this per second? Because this per second logic will work in the case of continuous compounding. This is an application of continuous compounding. Continuous compounding normally we use in physics when we study atomic physics. We use continuous compounding when we talk about microbiology, cell growth, or microbial growth by binary fusion reaction, by binary fusion, or when you do radioactivity in physics, when you talk about derivatives in financial market, stock market, the movement of the stock market, because very random, every second the stock prices get changes. In all that scenario, we follow continuous compounding. So I'll talk about them in the next class when we'll have. So this much we'll do in this class. We'll continue our discussion from next class. Okay, everyone. So I'm ending the class. I'll see you.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. I'll see you all very soon for the next class. Take care, everyone. Bye.